One of the longest, most difficult, and most important questions on the Duolingo English test is the speaking sample. And in today's video, I'm going to show you a speaking sample question, I'm going to show you a 160 level answer, and step by step, sentence by sentence, we're going to read it together. Sound good? Let's get started. Hello, I'm Francis from Last Minute English. Welcome to the video. Today we're focusing on a speaking sample, and later I'm going to show you my perfect answer, and we're going to read that together so that you know not just what to say, but how to say it to get a really high score. First, let's do a 30-second review of what the speaking sample is all about. So the speaking sample comes at the end of your test, and it looks a little bit like this. You'll see the question on the screen. You have 30 seconds to think about your answer, and then you have to start speaking. You have up to 3 minutes to speak. You have to speak for at least 1 minute, but it's better to speak for the full 3 minutes or most of that 3 minutes to be able to show your best English. And speaking sample is really important because if you're applying to a job or a university, you'll send not just your score to them, but also your speaking sample and your writing sample as well. And let's say the university, the staff there will listen to what you've said, so they'll really be able to hear how good your English is. So you have to make sure it's as good as possible. So we have a strategy for the speaking sample. It has 5 steps. Let's quickly look at it now. So step 1 is to structure your answer. So you have a personal anecdote first, then you have an opinion, then you give an example, and we'll see all of that a bit later. Second step, make sure you use signposting to show where you are, to give guidance to the listener. Step 3 is to add lots of detail. And step 4, use some complex vocabulary. And then step 5 is to use a natural delivery. And that's something that we're really going to be focusing on in today's video. That means speak in a natural way. So we're going to work through an answer together, and we're going to look at this same question that we saw before. So let's very quickly read through the question together. It says, unexpected situations can require us to adjust our plans. Describe a time when you had to change your goals or priorities due to unforeseen circumstances. How did you handle the situation, and what was the outcome? So it's really important to use that 30 seconds of preparation time, because if you just sit there in your 30 seconds going, test is nearly finished, what will I have for dinner? It's not a very good way to prepare. Instead, you can think about what you're going to say for each of the 3 parts of our structure. So we have personal anecdote. That means like telling a story from your own life. So I might say something like this when I'm planning it in my head. I might say, I'd planned to work abroad for a year to improve my English, but then I had the opportunity to apply for a scholarship program. Okay, so that's the general story that we're going to be talking about. And then we think about the opinion. So I was right to change my plan to not study abroad and try to apply for this scholarship program. And then we give an example at the end. So I've been able to improve my English skills in a different way and start working towards my dream career. And something else we can do is think about the high-level vocabulary that we can try to include in our speaking. So in that first 30 seconds of thinking, think, okay, so it's about priorities and planning and things like that. What high-level words can I use to answer this question? And then you think about them, and then you try to use them in your answer. So for example, I might think, okay, I might talk about gap year. I might use about English, maybe fluent or fluency. I'll talk about a shift of priority. I might use the word prestigious. So once we've done our 30 seconds preparation, we move on to actually speaking. And that's what we're going to do together. So I'm going to show you the first part of my answer. and we're going to read through it together. So I'll say a sentence, you should listen carefully to how I say it, and then you're going to repeat it, okay? And we've made some little adjustments, little use of color, so that you can see on the screen which words I'm stressing. So that's words which are kind of important words or words with a strong feeling. And also which words I'm saying quite quickly because they're not that important. So you're not just going to repeat what I say, but instead you're going to think how I say it. Both of those are very important. So after each sentence, I'm going to leave a short pause, and you can, if you want, pause the video and practice saying it the way that I said it, okay? Let's begin. So, the first situation that comes to mind when I think about a shift in priorities is when I was planning to embark on a gap year. Your turn. Okay, very good. And notice that that comes to mind, I'm saying it very quickly. I'm not saying that comes to mind. I'm saying that comes to mind. And the same with think about a shift. Think about a shift. Okay, so these are the things that you have to practice to improve your pronunciation, improve your fluency, make your English sound more natural. Okay, I'm not going to talk so much after every sentence. Let's continue with the second sentence. My intention was to spend a year or so working abroad so that I could improve the fluency and accuracy of my spoken English. Okay, however, everything changed when, just as I felt my mind was made up, a professor of mine advised that I should apply for a prestigious scholarship program, which would allow me to attend one of my country's most prestigious universities. I felt conflicted because I feared what would happen if I wasn't offered the scholarship, and had also missed the opportunity to work abroad as planned. Okay, very good. So I suggest that if you want to keep improving, it's really good to come back and practice this again and again. So you can save this video, like bookmark this video, put it into one of your favorites. Also, if you want to like and subscribe, we can accept that as well. But make sure you save this and practice again and again, because the more you do it, the more natural your English will become. So this one is definitely a 160 level answer, and there's a few reasons why, and I'll just very quickly explain. So first of all, we've used some high level vocabulary, the words that we planned, like prestigious, things like that. We've also used some signposting expressions like everything changed when. By the way, signposting means you're telling the listener what's coming next. So if there is a change of direction of your story, like something good was happening, good, but then bad, you're letting the reader know, okay, there is a change now. So the reader or the listener is always sure about what's happening. That's called signposting. And we've also used a lot of natural phrasing, things like comes to mind. So we don't always have to put loads and loads and loads of high-level vocabulary. In fact, it's often a bad thing to do that because your answer sounds less natural. So just a few little bits of vocabulary. I think about it like a cake. Put a few little sprinkles on the cake. But the main part of the cake is made up of normal, natural English vocabulary. Now, just before we move on to the next part of the answer, if you're enjoying this video, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you want to get this full answer, including the full audio, we have it available for free on our website. The link to that is just here under the video, so make sure you check that out at the end of the video. So we've done the first part of the speaking sample answer. We've talked about our personal anecdote, the story. Let's move to the second part, which is the opinion. And again, I'm going to read my answer for you, sentence by sentence. You'll be able to see which words we stress and which words we say very quickly. And I want you to follow me. Okay? Ready? Let's go. In the end, I firmly believe that I was right to go ahead and apply for the scholarship. Though it meant changing my mindset, it opened up some really positive opportunities for my professional life. Very good. My tutor gave me a lot of support, and I definitely say that this was instrumental in helping me to be accepted. Notice there it's to be. It's not to be, it's to be accepted. And finally, the whole experience made me realize that it can be worth adjusting our plans when new circumstances arise. Okay, very good. And as I said last time, make sure to come back and practice this several times to improve your performance. Something else to remember is that I'm not suggesting here that you should memorize this whole answer and try to give it in your test. Because, number one, if you, in any English exam, you try to use a memorized answer, it's a bad idea. The tests don't like that. IELTS doesn't like it. DET doesn't like it. It's never a good idea. Also, there's no way to know which questions will come in your DET. So you could memorize this whole answer and you get to the speaking sample and it's a totally different question. It's 99.9% guaranteed to be a different question. So memorizing this answer is not a good idea, okay? What I want you to do instead is use this as a way to improve your pronunciation, your intonation, how your voice goes up and down, which words you say fast, which words you give a pause, and also to improve your vocabulary, your grammar, many different things. It's a practice exercise. Don't memorize this answer, please. And a few nice little details in this second part, our opinion. So we've given a really advanced level phrase to give our opinion, which is, I firmly believe that. So not just I think, or I believe, I firmly believe. We've also used a signposting expression, in the end. And in the last sentence, I refer back to the question. So I say like it's adjusting our plans or our priorities. So that's a nice little thing to do when you want to, sometimes you want to fill a little bit of time, or you want an easy way to start your answer. You can take some of the words from the question and just maybe move them around a little bit and almost repeat the question. So we've done the first two parts. We've done our personal anecdote and our opinion. It's time for the example. This is like going into more detail, giving a specific example to help support the opinion that we've been given. And also it's a good way to summarize and remind the listener what we've been talking about. So let's go through this last part again. And again, I'll read a sentence, I'll leave a small pause, you can have a try. All right? So, my initial aim had been to improve my spoken English, and the scholarship program actually helped me to do so very effectively. On top of that, taking advantage of this unexpected situation helped me to make a start on my chosen career path. If I'd continued with the plan I'd made before, I wouldn't have as many professional opportunities available to me today. So, for many reasons, I would undoubtedly make the same decision again if I had to go back. Okay. Very good job. Now, one thing to notice in this answer is that I used some high-level grammar. So I used a mixed conditional. That's a very high level of grammar sentence. So it's the one that says, if I'd continued with the plan I'd made before, I wouldn't have as many professional opportunities available to me today. So that one. It's a complicated bit of grammar, but if you can use sentences like that, even just one in your whole answer, that's a really nice way to boost your score. And I've also used on top of that, that's a nice connecting phrase. It links two different parts. And we've used some nice adverbs. We've used effectively and undoubtedly. So that's our example section done. We're very nearly finished. We're just going to add one more sentence. And this one is sort of a summary, like a little conclusion. This is a nice thing to add if you can at the end of your speaking sample. So that finishing sentence is like this. All in all, that experience gave me confidence in my ability to handle change, and I'm really pleased that it played out as it did. Okay, very good. So that's our full answer, and that would score 160 on the DET. So I hope you found this useful. Actually, please do let me know in the comments if you've found this useful and if you'd like me to make more videos in this style where we read through a whole answer together and I leave these little pauses for you. Please let me know if this is good. If you have any other suggestions for different question types, other things you think are difficult in the DET, let me know that as well. If you want to get this full answer, including the full audio, we have it available for free on our website. The link is just here under the video. That's another great way for you to practice giving this answer. If you've enjoyed today's video, as well as letting me know in the comments, please make sure to like and subscribe. Now, if you think that, okay, I know what I should do in the speaking sample, I know how I should organize my answer, but I can't speak for 3 minutes, I don't have any ideas, we have a great video for you, exactly to solve that problem. How do you get enough ideas to talk for a full 3 minutes? You can find the link either up here or it's down here under the video. Make sure you check that out now. I'm Francis from Last Minute English. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.